I just remember going over this hill, and we immediately started getting shot at. Like boom, boom, boom in front of me. Like the last one hit like dirt in my face.
To the Marines who relied on him in Afghanistan, Navy Hospital Corpsman Eduardo Eddie Estrada was Doc. In the midst of danger, their lives were in his hands.
About 80 meters to my right was another squad, and one of their officers, one of the forward observers, got shot. His lips started getting blue and cyanotic, and he started coming in and out of consciousness. He started thinking, what's going on, like, yeah, well, this guy probably has a collapsed lung or is about to have one. I went to decompress him. I put in the needle down here on his side, and I got blood. I tried it again, and I got blood, and I don't know, I was like, well, what am I gonna do? This guy is like, his vitals are going down, like, where his pulse were getting weak, and he was just very clammy and stuff and pale. And I went up here, which is a place that we were not that comfortable with at the time due to our, the training and stuff. But I went ahead and did the needle D up here, which I was able to get some relief, which I was able to decompress his chest enough to where we started seeing him come back. The guy lived and stuff, but I always wondered about the treatment, if it was the right thing, or could I have done something better.
Eddie had wanted to be a doctor long before he ever went to war, but his experiences in combat made him even more determined to help others. When he came back, he enrolled in the University of Arizona and started down the pre-med path.
As a part of a writing requirement, I took this science journalism class that kind of pushed me to kind of get out of my shell. This class forced me to go out and have to interview people or meet people.
One of the people Eddie interviewed was Dr. Donald Joseph, or DJ, Green, a trauma surgeon and former Navy medical officer. They shared some of their wartime stories, and the conversation gave Eddie a sense of peace about the patient whose life he had saved.
He's like, you did the right thing, pretty much. Something that he validated by saying, this is something I teach to doctors.
DJ had been taught in turn by trauma surgeon Peter Rhee, a University of Arizona professor of surgery and 24-year Navy veteran. Rhee met DJ while leading a trauma training program for military medical personnel in Los Angeles.
DJ was one of the very first classes that came through my program. He came in with an attitude, didn't want to be there, didn't want to train. He said, I've seen plenty in Tucson, and there's nothing you can teach me. And after we put him through the rigors for about a week, he came back and said, when I'm done with this, I want to come back and be your fellow. I want to train under you.
Rhee says the battlefield knowledge that service members like Eddie and DJ gain can benefit medicine back home.
We have a tendency to leapfrog from each other, both the civilian and the trauma, the military, going back and forth. This started to come around in the 70s and 80s. We had a lot of violence in this country. We obviously have well over 100,000 people who are shot every single year. The field of trauma evolved during that time period, and we were able to lead and try to bring the military's medical trauma world up to par. And then once the war went and we deployed our people, we were able to try many things that are out there. New techniques, new thoughts and conceptions that we were able to then bring back and teach the civilian world.
Eddie Estrada's time at war continues to drive and inspire him, and so do the words of DJ Green.
He talked to me about becoming a doctor and some other things that you kind of need to hear when you're having a hard time, like with all this stuff going on in your life, and you're thinking, well, is this really the route I should be taking? Because I'm married with a kid, dogs, house, everything, job. Should I really be reaching for this thing that there's so many naysayers about, you know. Should have listened to them. E5. In a time like that, when I came into university, somebody like him kind of said, look, don't listen, like, just be patient. Which is something great to hear from somebody of that caliber. Camila.